strange tales of
Have
the
you
Whistler?
heard the strange tales
Wait a
of
minute.
the Whistler?
Have you heard the strange tales of the Whistler?
Have you heard the strange tales of the Whistler?
I'm the Whistler.
The film is essentially silent, and every time I show it, I invite a different musician or a group of musicians to accompany and play live in the cinema space. I was invited to Berlin to show theatre at Delphi, which was an original silent movie theatre in the sort of old east part of Berlin. And I was sort of just thinking I need to find a German musician to do it. And by total chance, my partner, he just bought a whole set of John Cage CDs. And one of them happened to be Sigune von Osten singing lots of different things, but one of them was John Cage's aria. And I just happened to pass by his studio and heard this voice. And the moment I heard it, who's this? And he said, oh, I don't know. Maybe it's someone that's not alive anymore. We didn't know, we had no idea, and I didn't know the name. And we just had a look, and I just said, I've got to find out about this person. Luckily, with the internet, I could find out that it was somebody that was alive and was German, which was incredible.
I had never done the music for a silent movie, so this was exactly a new thing, and I was waiting for something, a new impulse, and that was it.
Originally, I've usually got people to improvise. Some of the people who accompany the film don't even want to see the film. They want to just basically see it on the night for the first time and just perform live. I had a 17-piece orchestra just come to the theatre, and I had no idea what they were going to do. That was the whole idea. They were called the London Improvisers Orchestra. But with Sigune, it was different. When she saw the film, she sort of heard sounds,
Yes, right.
So although it's not completely composed, there's certain parts that happen again each time if it's repeated.
I started first with the first part, and I decided, because she also is alone in this first part, there are only emotions from herself. So I thought this is perfect only to use the voice.
It's got an emotional range that I tried to sort of have as I was acting, as I was kind of going through my emotions. You seem to sort of mirror that with the sound, which is what, for me, was really exciting when I first heard it.
It's my voice who responds to what I see on the film, what I see in her face, the emotion I see in her face. I decided to use a semantic language, no words, so that also the audience get emotions, but they don't get words, and so they don't think. Because if you hear a word, your thoughts start to think and to interpret.
With a normal silent film, you usually get the intertitles that come up and say, this is happening, and she said this. And I knew when I made THEDA that I never wanted any words. I never wanted titles in it, or I mean, there is a sort of narrative in the second part, but I never wanted it to be a straight kind of, written narrative. In Berlin, the placement of Sigune and the image of the screen was much more together, so you were really watching both at the same time. And this time she's slightly off to the right of the film as you're looking at it, but it's still one, it's actually, even though she's kind of slightly separate, from most angles you still see it as one.
I also think maybe in this double performance, this is a new dimension, because normally, as Georgina says, normally you have the orchestra or the pianist who plays underneath and you see the film, but now there is a kind of communication, and maybe it's even a new style of performance.
I'm getting tingling sensation as well. It's like she's saying, I'm here, where else would I be? And of course, I know that makes sense, because in heaven there is no place but here. There's no time but now. You grow and you learn through an earth body, which you don't in a heavenly body. And if you open your ears, you may hear her whisper to you.
Is this a picture of your mother? Is this a picture of your mother? Is this a picture of your mother? She's sad looking into her eyes. She's sad looking into her eyes. She's sad.
5 years ago, I saw a very old photograph of a woman, and for a second, I thought I glimpsed my mother. The photograph was of silent film actress THEDA.
Overwhelming sadness. Overwhelming sadness.
She was called the woman of 1,000 faces. My mother, neither a professional or famous actress, was nevertheless a consummate actress when in public, always expressing calm and contentment to the outside world. Privately, she was crippled by personal demons.
Is your mother sad at the moment? Is your mother sad at the moment? Is your mother sad at the moment? Is your mother sad at the moment?
Someone's out there.
I think it's the most theatrical version of theatre I've ever done. The others have been much more kind of how silent movies were, which was the orchestra in the pit or the sort of invisible musician really and the screen. But this is much more of a theatrical experience. So when I got invited here to the theatre, it just seemed perfect actually to do it again with Sigune, because I see it more as theatre in this sense than a film screening really. I love the idea of the film being put on a stage, because nearly every aspect of it for me is about the stage. There's all these different elements which are about theatre really, and the silent movies were much more theatrical. The style of acting was histrionic. It was really over the top, and it wasn't really like film. It was so much closer to theatre.
I'm going to run, I won't turn back. I'm going to run, cover up my tracks. Will you say I've succeeded? Well, I've failed. It's just a dream. It's just a dream. It's just a dream.